Hello, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the phrasal verb calls for. The reason why I chose this phrasal verb is it's a very difficult one to understand, but I think I have a way of explaining this one to you. So stay in your seats, listen up, and I am going to explain this one as best as I can. As we already know, phrasal verbs can be very difficult to understand. One, because they can vary in meaning, and it's also a verb followed by a preposition. So in this case, we have for following the word call. So those two together just do not seem like they make any sense. So first, let's look at the verb call. I think most of us understand what the word call means. You know, if you're going to make a phone call or call for your friend, call for help. That part I think is easy to understand. I don't know if you've ever called on someone before. So I used to use this all the time when I was a kid. I would say to my mom, I'm going to go call on my friend. Usually that meant, well, we didn't have cell phones then, so it meant just getting on my bike, riding over to his house, and knocking on his door. So I would be calling on my friend. Today's phrasal verb is calls for. So we have to look at this one a little bit differently. I think the best way to imagine, think about, or learn this one is to think about the person or the thing, the material, that is wanting something. So I'm going to use a recipe because you often hear calls for in a recipe. So imagine that I was making spaghetti and I had myself a list and I was reading off the list, and my friend might say to me, does it need onion? Does it need peppers, mushrooms? And I might look at the list and say, oh, yeah, it does call for, meaning that the recipe wants the mushrooms or onions or peppers. Or what if we even looked at the world? Maybe the world wants something, the earth wants something. So if we were talking maybe about global warming or pollution or other things that are happening in today's world, we could say the solution calls for more environmental care. You may also hear it in a weather forecast. You may hear the weatherman say, today's weather is calling for rain, meaning the weather wants it to rain, so it's calling for it. So the forecast says that there's going to be rain in the day. And we do have a variation of this one, which is uncalled for. You may hear this if somebody makes a mistake or does something childish, especially in school. Maybe we were picking on a friend or we threw a snowball at somebody, and our teacher might say, hey, that was uncalled for, meaning it was unwanted. It was not a good thing to do or a necessary thing to do. Hopefully, those examples explain to you using call for. If not, you can always leave a comment in the comment section and ask some more questions about this one. Listen for it. Maybe in movies or in just daily conversation, you will hear people use the phrasal verb call for. Okay? Well, that's it for today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.